You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports 2. Well, the Baker Mayfield drama is certainly starting to churn a little bit more in regards to the Cleveland Browns and Baker's future. We don't know what's going to happen, frankly. I'm sure Baker's sitting back going, man, this QB carousel has basically grinded to a stop. Everybody has sort of got their quarterbacks, and this is a problem. This was terrible timing for the Browns to have gotten a hold of Deshaun Watson in regards to what's going to happen with Baker. Now, I think Baker may still be in play in Seattle, possibly. And now the Steelers have surfaced, and you might be like, what, in division? Look, I don't think the Browns would trade Baker to the Steelers. I don't. But there has been a report that surfaced saying the Steelers would be all over Baker if he gets released. Well, hell, I think if he gets released, you could see more than just the Steelers get involved, okay? Seattle would probably definitely get involved. The Steelers would probably definitely get involved. And I even think maybe you would start seeing, okay, maybe, you might get the Eagles involved or somebody like that. But they got Gardner Minshew here. And just to give you an idea, as I look at my much too early quarterback list, the problem is you've got a lot of these quarterbacks that are kind of in the same vein, okay? Even though I have these broken into tiers, Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 5, I mean, good God. I've got Mitch Trubisky at number 21. Baker's at 18, okay? So there's not a lot of difference there. There's not. And in fact, if you look at the career stats between Mitch Trubisky and Baker Mayfield, Mitch Trubisky's got a better winning record and all of his stats are better than Baker. And I'm not shitting on Baker because I actually like Baker Mayfield. I do. I think he should start for somebody. But he's got a backup feel to him right now. Oddly enough, sort of like a former teammate of his. He's got sort of a Case Keenum feel, a Gardner Minshew feel. And look, I've advocated I think Gardner ought to be the starter with Philadelphia. But Gardner's a backup, okay? So you had Marcus Mariota riding the bench, and I think we all thought Marcus was borderline a starter and had one really good season for the Titans. Baker's kind of fell down into that area right now. He has. And the Browns, with a second grand jury convening on whether or not to put criminal charges on him, the Browns look like idiots right now. They look terrible. That might be a franchise wrecker. And could they keep Baker around in case Watson gets the book thrown at him? For lack of a better way of putting it, I guess they could. Mitch Trubisky is the new starting quarterback for the Steelers. This is Outkick. But if Baker Mayfield becomes available, that could all change. Mayfield, of course, is still a member of the Browns. That isn't supposed to be the case for much longer. Not after the Browns landed Deshaun Watson in a massive trade from the Texans. The problem is the Browns can't seem to find any takers for Baker. If their inability to trade him continues, they may have no choice but to release him outright. And if that happens, the Steelers would likely take a flyer. This despite Mayfield playing for their bitter rivals and knocking them out of the playoffs 2 years ago. If y'all don't remember, Baker beat the hell out of the Steelers a couple of years ago. The Steelers will pounce on Baker Mayfield if he becomes available. Veteran Browns reporter Mary Kay Cabot said on the Cleveland.com podcast, like if they cut him and he's just out there as a street free agent, the Steelers would take him in a minute. And I'm sure a lot of people would. If you could get him for nothing and the Browns would have to eat that money, then certainly nobody would go grab him in that scenario. In Pittsburgh, replacing Ben Roethlisberger undoubtedly won't be all rainbows and unicorns. Roethlisberger has been Steelers football for nearly 20 years. When you consider that Mayfield has been a little inconsistent, Not to mention, a little immature, the Steelers might think twice about signing him if the opportunity arises. The problem with Mayfield is he's in the middle of a pack as a quarterback. That's absolutely a fact. He could be good, he could be bad. He's not in that Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen category among other young quarterbacks. So teams might prefer to tank rather than to get Mayfield, only to be a mediocre team. The other issue is the Browns would want trade compensation for Mayfield, but teams are apparently reluctant to send any draft capital for the quarterback. Basically, despite landing Watson, the Browns still have a conundrum at quarterback. That would be that they can't seem to move on from Mayfield, but they certainly don't want him going to Pittsburgh. At some point, Cleveland is likely going to lower its asking price. Mayfield, indeed, will be moved. If the Steelers want him, that's likely all the incentive the Browns would need. And again, it's not unprecedented to see in-division trades. Again, we said it yesterday, said it the day before. McNabb from the Eagles to the Redskins. And, of course, Bledsoe from the Patriots to the Bills. It has happened. But if the Browns won't do it, that tells you they're a little bit higher on Mayfield. That's why I say Garoppolo won't go to Seattle. Because I think the Niners absolutely know Garoppolo could beat their ass head-to-head. That would be a possibility because the guy wins games, whether people want to admit it or not. He's got twice as many wins as he does losses. Fact is, people don't realize Garoppolo's got a much better win-loss record than Baker Mayfield, than Kirk Cousins, even Derek Carr. These guys that you don't think about, you automatically want to put ahead of Garoppolo. Nah, they don't win as many games. Plain and simple. I know it's a team game, but you get my point. All right? That's the problem with Baker. He's in that 18 to 24-ish range right now. He's $18 million guaranteed on money. Garoppolo, that's probably the reason Garoppolo was not a Colt. He's owed like $27 million, $27 million. And not a lot of people are going to pay that right now. If Garoppolo was down around 18, he probably would already be gone somewhere. Okay, there is the salary factor, and we don't talk about that enough. So Mary Kay Cabot is saying the Steelers would immediately pick up Baker and sign him. Now, if you're Mitch Trubisky, you're probably sitting back going, I hate to break it to you, but I'm as good as Baker Mayfield. A lot of people may not realize that. Go look at their stats side by side. You're going to be like, wait, what? Yeah, better winning percentage, better completion percentage, better touchdown to interception ratio. Sort of is what it is. And Trubisky's more athletic and can run better. I mean, I know that's shocking to say. I didn't even realize that till I started breaking down the stats, looking at them, and was like, wow, Mitchell basically beats Baker in every statistical category, including wins. It still makes me wonder. I mean, did the Bears make the right decision choosing Matt Nagy over Mitch Trubisky? Are you sure, Bears fans? Are you sure they did the right thing there? I said the Bears gave up on him. They should have got a different coach. Anyway, we'll see. Baker as a Steeler. It could happen if he gets cut. But you got all this new Deshaun Watson drama all of a sudden. Uh-oh. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.